my channel. Today we're going to be talking about space exploration.
Got my hat on, got my tickets, so I'm ready to go.
Now you may remember in my last video, link above, that for a split second I considered going to the Kennedy Space Center because the weather conditions were not favorable for skydiving. However, I didn't end up going on that day. I did go yesterday for the first time. Now, upon entering the Space Center, you are greeted by a giant rocket garden. Not a rock garden, a rocket garden. I was quick to get on the NASA bus tour and travel past the very large, very iconic vehicle assembly building. This ginormous single-story building, one-story building, allows for vertical assembly of rockets, space shuttles, and future space launch vehicles. Now, to give you some perspective, the stars on the American flag on the building are 6 feet wide. And the bay doors, each 456 feet high, take about 45 minutes to open and close. As we continued down our bus tour, we were able to quickly glimpse a couple of the various launch pads. And then we arrived at our destination, the Apollo Saturn V Center. It is here that you come face to face with a real Saturn V moon rocket. One of 3 still in existence today. This rocket was intended for deep space, but due to the Apollo moon missions canceling, was never used. Though other Saturn V rockets were launched from the Kennedy Space Center. At this facility, I also got to pet an actual moon rock, go on a guided tour, and have my questions answered by a retired NASA employee. Upon arrival back to the main visitor center, I attended a 40-minute talk by real-life astronaut Marcos Ponce. Now, Marcos was the first Brazilian astronaut to fly in space, and he spent time at the International Space Station. Unfortunately, I had missed his earlier English presentation, and this one was completely in Portuguese, so I didn't understand a word of it. But based off the audience's reaction, he was a great presenter, and I definitely enjoyed the amazing photos he shared. After shaking his hand and taking a photo, I headed towards the Space Shuttle Atlantis. Now, in order to see Space Shuttle Atlantis, you must watch 2 short videos, and the second video is actually in a really cool theater. It was almost like a 180 effect where it had screens on all the different sides. And as the video starts to end, the front screen starts to lift up, unveiling Space Shuttle Atlantis. I personally got goosebumps. Displayed with the payload doors open and the canarm extended as if it's undocked from the International Space Station. Having completed 33 missions, visitors from around the world can now see this retired shuttle. The space shuttle is also angled at 43.21 degrees as that pays tribute to the countdown process that precedes every shuttle launch. 4, 3, 2, 1. After taking a bunch of photos and playing with a few of the space simulators, I thought my trip and the video I had planned to make for you guys was done. I was spaced out. But upon waking up the next morning, Facebook informed me that NASA was broadcasting a live spacewalk outside the International Space Station. US Spacewalk 47 Expedition 54 flight engineer Mark Van High and flight engineer Scott Tingle would be replacing one of 2 redundant latching end effectors, LEE, on Canarm 2, the station's robotic arm. So that's the footage that you're seeing now. Is all live streams that I saw just this morning on Facebook. I have to admit, I had this live stream on for 4 hours because I was so captivated and in awe that this is all happening live 254 miles above my head. Furthermore, the Falcon Heavy rocket is set to launch very soon, science in real time, very soon here in Florida at the Kennedy Space Center. Now, when this rocket launches, it's going to be the most powerful operational rocket in the entire world by a factor of 2, which some space advocates think will be a quicker and cheaper option for NASA to send astronauts back to the moon. So we'll have to wait and see. So if you're interested in this, I've put a whole bunch of great links in the description box below, where hopefully you can stay updated. Also be sure to like and subscribe. And as always guys, remember to take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. About that Falcon launch. Road trip? Anybody? Editing a boat. Am I recording even? Yes. 4. Whoops, that's 3. We went to the moon in 1969.